Check, check. Microphone check 1 2. Microphone check. Check 1 2. Microphone check, check. Yo, what? I was gonna wait to do this, but no time like the present. This seemed too good to be true, so I'm just gonna dive into it with the Paul brothers and Floyd Mayweather getting in on this. I don't know if it's hype. I don't know if it's fake. I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest with you. But I'm gonna kind of dive into today's episode, and we're just gonna kind of talk through it and see what's up. What's going on, everybody? Andrew asked me about my podcast, back with another episode today, talking about, I was going to talk about the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight, but after last night's theatrics, I guess you kind of have to throw Jake Paul into the mix. Kind of talking about the fight first off. Paul brothers have always fascinated me. I think partly being from Ohio, always was drawn towards their antics and their interesting, creative approach to social media and being on the big screen. They've always followed an unconventional route to fame, which I always found very interesting. Not always the prettiest, not always the most grateful or graceful, but they made it somewhere along the way, and it's worked for them. Not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong, but they've made it however you want to split it up. Now, I'm not 100% sure, like I said, about the Jake Paul fight. 50-50 to me. Was it fake? I don't think so. Was it kind of like a WWE boxing match? There might have been a little tap on the shoulder. Now's a good time to fall. I think maybe. I don't know. Tough to really say. What I do know is I think this Logan Paul Mayweather fight is going to be of a similar routine to how the Jake Paul fight was. So, yeah, maybe it might be real. Yeah, maybe it might be pushing it a little bit. But I think at the end of the day, it's going to be an absolutely theatrical presentation, similar to how the Jake Paul fight was. It's going to be in Miami, Hard Rock Stadium, June 6th. Still waiting to hear. I know the undercard just got announced and everybody wasn't super stoked about it. But said Odell Beckham Jr. is going to be on the undercard fighting. We're not sure. And the musical performances haven't really been launched either. So super interesting to see where that goes and who's going to be jumping on that card as far as the theatrics. You can only assume that it's going to be a sold-out crowd and people in attendance. Obviously, Florida being pretty open at this point, so you can only assume that they're going to be playing out to a sellout crowd. Obviously, middle of June in Florida is going to be a little rough, a little warm, but it should be a beautiful show either way. Now, to what happened yesterday was absolutely insane. So one of those things where kind of my little bubble, I keep up with those guys. I enjoy watching what they do and how they do it, and Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast and some of that kind of stuff. What I didn't know and what I learned today was the ramifications that it had all over the sports world. So everything from ESPN, you had boxing show, or you had football shows talking about boxing, you had just kind of a little bit of everything. And I didn't think that it was going to make that big of bang, I guess, in the average, quote unquote, average consumer. So super interesting to see that kind of play out over the course of today. It's hard to say, was it fake? Was it real? No one actually got knocked out. No one actually died. So, I guess that's a positive. For those who don't know, Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather had their presser yesterday at Hard Rock Stadium. Jake Paul was, of course, in attendance, talking shit the entire time. Again, you got to appreciate the antics. Dude always tries to keep his face center screen, so can't really argue with that. After the end of the fight, Jake Paul, and Mayweather got face-to-face and kind of were talking shit. At one point, Jake stole Floyd's hat off at the top of his head and kind of tried to run off with it. As you can imagine, there was a couple people, or probably 20, 30 people surrounding them, everybody from bodyguards to cameramen, and he didn't get very far, as you can imagine. So there is rumors that he did get jacked in the face. I can only imagine so. He did come out with kind of torn up shirt, torn up pants, and so it looks like he did get roughed up a little bit. He claims that he ran away with Floyd's hat. Floyd claims that he kept his hat. It'll be interesting to see what comes out of all that. Just like any Jake Pauler would do, he created a advertising campaign around it, has merch now, got a tattoo called the Gotcha hat, which you can get at Jake Paul's website. And, dude always is hustling, always making a few bucks, and always getting creative on the way that he puts himself out there. Again, not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong, but the guy is always front and center stage when it comes to these types of crazy antics. And I just found that super interesting. that's kind of all I wanted to talk about today. Today is Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Feel good Friday. Go out there, enjoy a beautiful day here in Denver. Probably get out here in a little bit, go for a little walk. Just got my COVID shot this morning, so feeling fine for now. It's been a couple hours, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Hope everybody enjoys their day, weekend, week, and I will talk to you guys all on Monday.